Okay, so most of us know the internet pretty well, right? You know, the surface web, social media, shopping, all that stuff.
Yeah, the everyday internet.
But underneath that, there's this other layer, hidden, much, much darker.
The deep web.
Exactly. And today, we're going deep into that hidden world. We're going to look at some really disturbing true stories shared by people who actually stumbled across this stuff.
And our goal here is really just to shed some light on these, well, shocking realities.
Now, before we get started, I really need to give a serious warning here.
Absolutely.
The things we're going to talk about. They touch on some truly disturbing parts of human nature found online. It can be pretty impactful.
Yeah, it can definitely change how you see things, maybe even humanity itself.
It's a stark reminder, really, of the darkness that can exist just beyond what we normally see. So please, just be aware. Proceed with caution.
Definitely exercise caution.
Right. So when you actually go onto the deep web, it seems almost inevitable you'll see things you really wish you hadn't.
Yeah.
And the psychological toll, well, it can be pretty significant, even if you think you're hardened to this kind of stuff.
It's a place that really challenges your perceptions, can leave a mark.
And that's unfortunately what happened to the person who originally shared these accounts we're looking at.
Right.
As you might guess, they saw all the, let's say, widely known disturbing content. Yeah, really graphic videos, cult recruitment sites, stuff like that.
Usual suspects, unfortunately.
But one thing that maybe isn't talked about as much and that they found deeply unsettling was something called crush videos.
Yes. Those are particularly grim.
They're essentially fetish videos. Women, often in high heels, stepping on and, well, crushing small animals.
Like kittens, rabbits, often on glass tables, apparently.
Yeah. The narrator admitted, kind of out of morbid curiosity, watching a few, even though they knew it was incredibly wrong.
It's a strange pull sometimes, that morbid curiosity.
They mentioned one video in particular, just extreme cruelty involving a baby cat. And the person doing it just had this eerie smile, totally unfazed.
Beyond just the shock value, these accounts really make you think about anonymity, don't they?
How so?
Well, how these hidden platforms can become breeding grounds for the most extreme niche fetishes imaginable.
Right.
It challenges how we understand desire, privacy, and it forces you to ask why. Why is this stuff made? Why is it watched?
It's a truly grim thought.
Yeah.
And if those crush videos show a dark side of fetishism, this next story goes even deeper into like live exploitation of human life.
This one is particularly chilling.
Yeah. It started when the narrator got an invite. An online contact sent them a link to a website, promising something they'd really like.
Okay. Red flag already.
Totally.
Yeah.
The link went to this site with a really grainy, low-quality live video feed.
Live feed?
Yeah. It showed 4 men, looked like Chinese men, sitting around a table in this kind of rundown apartment. One guy had his head down, resting. And you can sometimes see the floor beneath him was covered in a tarp.
A tarp. Okay. That's ominous.
Right. At first, not much was happening. The narrator got bored, tried to skip forward.
But couldn't, because it was live.
Exactly. Realized it was a live stream. The person who sent the link just said, wait, just 5 minutes.
Okay, the suspense is building.
So they check back. Now there are only 3 men at the table, and this box has appeared above the video. It had Chinese text and 4 numbers that were constantly changing.
Changing numbers, like betting odds.
Seems like it. Then, not long after, the 4th guy comes back, and he's holding a revolver.
Oh.
He puts it on the table. You could hear aggressive voices off camera. The guy with the gun grunts something, then spins the pistol on the table.
Russian roulette. Live.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
A live game of Russian roulette. Apparently, for some kind of gambling site, people were staking Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, of course. Untraceable.
Looked like maybe a 4-to-1 bet structure. Those changing numbers probably showed how much money was being wagered on each player.
But wagered on them to live or die.
Unclear. That was the horrifying part. And the men themselves, they just looked tired, maybe desperate. But you couldn't tell who they were, where they were really. Just anonymous faces in this awful scene.
The anonymity cuts both ways there. Protects the viewers, the gamblers, and obscures the victims.
So what happened next just showed how utterly depraved this whole thing was. The gun spun, landed, pointing at one man.
Yeah.
He picks it up, puts it to his head,
Yeah.
pulls the trigger. Click. Empty chamber. He was safe.
Okay. Relief, but dread for the next person.
Exactly. The next guy took the gun, didn't even hesitate.
Yeah.
Just stuck it straight in his mouth, pulled the
Oh,
trigger.
cool.
There was a brief flash, then, well, Blood erupted from his head.
Bruh.
Little smoke from his mouth, his nostrils. He just collapsed back in the chair.
Horrific.
Then people from off camera rushed in, dragged him away, chair and everything. The narrator just shut it down immediately. Couldn't watch anymore.
I mean, who could? This isn't just cruelty. It's turning human life into a literal betting chip.
Right.
It shows how the dark web enables these like extreme economies built on suffering, where anonymity, Tor, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, they all facilitate it.
Bitcoin's pseudo-anonymity makes those transactions so hard to trace.
Precisely. It becomes the perfect currency for this kind of illicit, horrific market.
Just chilling to think about that level of desperation and exploitation. Okay, let's move to another account. Equally disturbing, I'm afraid.
Okay.
This one came from a Reddit user, someone who'd spent a lot of time surfing the deep web. They talked about some of the worst things they found, including this site called Paul's Pressure Tank.
Paul's pressure tank, what is that?
Apparently, this guy Paul built a pressure tank himself from scratch. It could manipulate pressure, heat.
Like a torture device.
Exactly. The user compared it to a brazen bowl. You know, that ancient Greek thing?
Yeah, the bronze bowl, they'd roast people alive inside.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Paul's tank, though, had a camera inside.
Oh, of course it did.
And for 2 to 5 Bitcoins,
Yeah.
you could pay to have someone killed inside it. A child, an adult, a teenager. Killed in whatever way you specified,
You could choose how they died.
apparently. The Reddit user said they saw someone roasted alive, saw another killed by high pressure, and then they just couldn't watch anymore.
I wouldn't blame them. That's monstrous.
There were also unconfirmed claims about sprinklers inside that could fill the tank with, like, acid, hot water, even urine.
Just the commodification of extreme torture, it's unbelievable. The demand for that level of control over someone's suffering.
And it really shows how technology, when it's completely unchecked like this, can enable just unimaginable cruelty.
Poses huge challenges for law enforcement, too. How do you even police these hidden spaces effectively?
It's a massive problem. Okay, deep breath. We have one final story, just as disturbing.
All right.
This one was found on a forum, deep in the web. The narrator was looking for content beyond just, the typical gore sites.
Trying to explore different corners.
Yeah. And they stumbled onto this forum specifically for HIV-positive gay men.
Okay, a support forum, maybe.
You'd think. But what they found was shocking. It was a group of men openly discussing techniques, sharing their favorite techniques
For what?
for intentionally infecting unsuspecting victims with the HIV virus.
What? No. Seriously?
Seriously, they were actively planning and bragging about how to pass it on.
That's beyond words. Malice doesn't even cover it.
One post was particularly detailed, came from a biker in London. He laid out 2 methods.
Okay, let's hear it. Though I'm dreading it.
First method, he said he discovered accidentally when a condom broke once. Said it later made him smile.
Smile. Oh my God.
So that evolved.
Yeah.
He started deliberately pricking holes in condom wrappers. But now, he said, to be really sure, he takes nail scissors into club bathrooms,
Nail scissors.
cuts the tips off condoms carefully, re-rolls them, puts them back in the packets.
So they look intact.
Exactly. And he said he targets men who specifically ask for safer sex only. He claimed he'd infected hundreds this way over the years.
Hundreds. That's calculated evil.
His second method, he called it more work but more fun.
More fun? How could this be fun?
He'd chat up HIV-negative guys online. Lie about his status. Say things like, oh, I tested negative last month, or I always test negative. I only top. Total lies.
Setting them up completely.
He'd promised to pull out before ejaculating, but then deliberately wouldn't. He apparently targeted guys who were into the whole biker leathers and crash helmet look.
So specific.
After the first time, he'd get more intimate. Kissing, being affectionate, make sure they had sex at least 5 times.
Why 5 times? Just to be sure.
Seems like it. And then, the truly sickening part, he'd stay in touch. Monitor their health.
To see if it worked?
Yeah. And when they eventually tested positive, he'd pretend to be shocked. Oh God, how did that happen? Maybe I should get tested too. All while, as he put it, secretly smiling. Thankful for chat rooms where they couldn't see his real reaction.
That is pure psychopathy.
He claimed this method infected about 20 guys, with only 1 failure.
This just shows such a profound ethical black hole. Intentionally spreading a life-threatening virus through layers of deception.
Showing.
The complete lack of empathy. The deliberate goal of inflicting severe harm. It highlights the dangers lurking in anonymous online spaces where this kind of malevolent planning can happen.
And the original source said there were even more disturbing posts on that forum. Honestly, for your own stomach's sake, we strongly advise against ever trying to find this stuff.
Please don't. It's not worth it.
It's just a really stark reminder that the world, well, it could be a pretty sick place sometimes.
Understatement of the year.
It's easy to feel, I don't know, overwhelmed by the darkness we've talked about today.
Definitely. These stories are grim.
They really show the depths of depravity that can find a platform on the deep web, often happening right under our noses, so to speak. But, amidst all this unsettling reality, there are efforts being made to shine a light into these hidden corners.
That's true. And it's crucial to remember that technology isn't just the problem here. It can also be part of the solution.
How so?
While NASA, surprisingly, confirmed they're part of a U.S. government project. The goal is to index the dark web.
Index it, like Google indexes the regular web.
Exactly like that. The idea is to map it out, uncover criminal activity, and hopefully, eventually, get rid of some of these really gruesome activities.
Wow. Like search engines for crime fighters.
Pretty much. Imagine being able to map connections, track illicit networks. It could completely change how law enforcement tackles online crime, moving from just reacting to actually disrupting these networks proactively.
That does offer some hope. A potential light at the end of this very dark tunnel, as the original source put it.
Let's hope so.
Indeed. And as that source also concluded, a rather provocative thought. Surf safely, and remember, the best things happen in the dark.
An interesting final thought.
That wraps up our deep dive for today. Thank you for joining us on this unsettling exploration.